Hello everyone. In today's lecture, we will discuss on Programmable Logic Controller, also known as PLC. In this lecture, we will try to discuss architecture of PLC, its logic diagrams, and numericals based on it. So first of all, let's start with discussion on the introduction part. Now, what do you mean by PLC here? PLC is nothing but it's an electronic apparatus where it is used to control machines and process. Now it controls these machines and process by using specific functions like logic, sequencing, timing, and counting. So by using these functions here, it tries to control these machines and process. So to understand that part, we are having here an example. This is the example of water bottle filling plant. So we can see here what we have here. We are having empty bottles on the left hand side. We are having the output, that is a filled bottle, on the right hand side. This conveyor system is being run by this motor here, and the fluid is being filled into this bottle at this point. So it's very important to have a precision and accuracy about the position of the bottle. We have to make sure that exactly when the bottle comes at this position, then and then only liquid should be injected into this bottle, and at that moment only this conveyor should stop, right? So we require a lot of sequencing of operation simultaneously. So controlling all these things require an unique apparatus, and that is nothing but it is an PLC. So we will discuss in the coming part here that how do we achieve such kind of an operation. So let's try to understand and system overview of PLC. If you look at the PLC here, the PLC consists of this kind of a feature. Now the better view is here. What we have is that the first one is the brain of an PLC, that is called as an processor. Now, what does processor process? Now, it is being connected to this input module and the output module. To run this input module, output module and processor, we need a power supply. And in what way processor should run? It has to be done by using the programming devices, right? So we'll just try to understand in detail what are these components here. So first we will try to discuss about the input and output modules. Now what does input module does is that input module takes the information from the sensor. These sensors are the input points into a complete system. Now these sensors might be contacts, it might be limit switches, it might be push button. Now this sensor is initially into an analog form. We need to convert that analog form into a digital form, and that digital form is being stored into this processor. Now in this processor we can see here we can see CPU is there, and also we're having here a memory. Now what does memory does is that there are two types of memory. The first thing is that in the first part of memory we store and program, and in the second part we store the information about the input module and the output module. So in part of a memory here, all the input information will be stored, right? Next thing is that we are having an output module. So output module nothing means that where the output goes. So it might be lamp, it might be alarm, solenoid valves, it can be anything, it can be motor, right? So we need to have connection between this input module and output module. Now to have that connection, we require a very specific program. That program defines what exact kind of relation we should have. Now we'll go into the next part here. Now as we talk about that the input module, the programming and the output module occurs, now all this process is called as the scan cycle in PLC. What does the scan cycle does is that it tries to run in the sequence manner the complete process. To understand that, we are having here and like a top view of an PLC configuration part. We just have to discuss this part here. What does it mean that? Now this at this left hand side we can see here it is nothing but these are the inputs, and on the right hand side these are the outputs. This L1 and L2, they are nothing but they are the power sources into this input and output, right? And this is the port here where we attach and plug, where we can uh, transfer a program from PC into this PLC part here, right? So we'll try to understand this point here. Now what happens exactly is that if we talk about this input here, now the input initially it is in the analog form. So this analog form input is being connected to this through this connector rails. So this connectors here, what we have is that we need to convert that into an digital signal. Now digital signal is either in 0 form or in the 1 form. Why is it in 0 and 1 form? Because it is easier for program to access it, right? So here we are seeing that we are having here 1 to 6 kind of ports here, right? Now in this figure or in this image here we have shown this 6 components. It can be more than that, right? So as per different types of PLCs it will come in different configuration. Just for simplicity here we have shown 6 connection here. So 6 on the input, 6 on the output. Now here what happens, let's try to understand. Conversion from analog into digital, and that digital information is being stored into the memory of this processor or in the memory of this PLC, and that thing is called as a read input, where the PLC, the processor, tries to read the information from the input. The next thing what happens is that run program. So whatever program is stored in the memory, the processor will try to access that program and it will try to run it. On what information? Information based on the input. Then what happens after the execution of program? It will give certain output, and that output is being connected from this point into an external analog form where we get an output. So here what we have is that we have analog to digital conversion in the primary, in the input part. Then we get an execution of program, and then again we have a digital form of output here, which is again getting converted, and we get an output here. So this process is called as an scan cycle in the PLC. So to elaborate that further, what we are having is that again we are having an same kind of an image with certain connection here, right? Now at the bottom, whatever is being mentioned here, we will try to discuss that in the later slides, right? First we'll just try to understand what is being mentioned here. Look at this connection L1 and L2. Now this L1 is the high power source, and this L2 is the sometimes called as neutral or the zero power source. So L1 connection is being made here. Look at this switch here. This one is shown as the open switch. This one is shown as an output. So we can see here, as soon as if I close the switch here, what will happen is that the supply will get from this higher power source into this part. It will move over into this connection here, right? So in this way we get a certain output. So simply like an light switch, where we just close the switch, we get the output in the form of light here, right? So this is the simplest type of the image that we have shown here. We will discuss that in the detail in the coming slides. So now let's move towards the next slide. Now in the last slide what we have seen was that only we have seen execution along a single line, or which we call as a single run. So what happens if we are having here and multiple connections? Let's say for example here we are having only here one connection. So what if this line is connected to x2, x3, x4, x5, and similarly y2, y3, y4, y5? So in what process does the scanning will take place? So to understand that, we have a certain kind of an pattern. Now this pattern is important to understand, because then only you'll be able to understand how does the logical description occurs. So what happens is that if you're having a multiple connections here, then the program first of all will take place in horizontal direction. Now all this horizontal direction is called as a rung. So it takes place along horizontal direction. Then one rung is completed, then it will move vertically downward, and then it will execute second horizontal movement. Then again it will come downward in vertically, then the third horizontal movement. So in this way it will keep on moving downwards after moving into horizontally. So this sequence is important for us to understand while doing the programming part. Now after learning the architecture of the PLC, now we will have to understand what we mean by ladder logic diagram. To understand that, first we should understand what we mean by the logic. Now logic is something which we have learned in the earlier subjects. So here we can try to relate that. Okay, just to cover it quickly, look at the and or function here. What does this mean? That if x1 and x2 are true here, then and then only we get an output in the true form. In the or form, if either of the x1 or x2 is true, then we get an output here. Same thing we are using in our logical diagrams here. Everything is now being shown by certain symbols. So we need to understand what are the different ladder symbols. So this logic diagram and the ladder symbol, they comes in sequentially. Okay, so just try to understand what does the symbol means here. Look at the first symbol. Now this symbol you can see here, we are having a horizontal line, and that horizontal line is being disconnected by the two vertical parallel lines. It means what? There is no kind of a connection between these two lines. So this thing is called as an normally open circuit or a normally open contact. It can be a switch, it can be relay, or it can be an on-off device. So this thing is called as an normally open contact. In the same way, if we try to connect these 2 points here, we get the second point, that is the normally closed contact. If we look at the third case here, now this both the cases are the actually inputs, right? If we look at the third case here, if we are having an output load, then the output load is shown by an circle here. Output load, it can be whatever the output devices. It can be motor, it can be lamp, it can be solenoid, it can be alarm, it can be anything, whichever is the output. It can be relay coil also. Then we also use timers and counter. So timers are also shown by this symbol, where we show by the timing part, then the seconds here we also show here by the counter. We will discuss that this timer and counter in the coming slides in detail, right? So here we are having here an example of ladder logic diagram here. So this kind of a diagram here, actually I have taken from the one of the numericals. So we will discuss that in detail. Just here we will try to understand briefly what does this mean here, so we can have a rough idea of what we are going to do. So what we have here, we are having two vertical lines, and all those vertical lines are being connected by the horizontal lines. So this is the higher power source, this is the low power source. These are called as an rungs. One rung, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. Then what we have is that we are having this kind of an connections here. So what does this means here? This means normally open contact. It's a normally closed contact. It's an output, right? In the same way we can see here what has been mentioned here is the timer, right? So here we are trying to use whatever we are learned here into an diagram part.